Morning, everyone. Ray from Hike-ALOT. Hiking with our furry family members is a wonderful and rewarding experience. Some of us hike with them, some of us don't hike with them, but I'm going to wager that all of us are accustomed to at least encountering hikers that have their pets with them on the trail. And I was out and about the other day, and I don't typically hike with my dog, but not because I don't want to, but because my dogs aren't really good hikers. But I was out on the trail the other day and noticed a hiker out, and their dog was clearly having kind of a hard time making it through the progression for the day. And so I just thought we'd take a few moments today and kind of roll through and just talk about some safety tips. I said just a moment ago that my dogs weren't good hikers. And it's not because they have their Bluetooth speakers cranked up way too loud, and it's not because they're not following leave no trace principles on the trail, or they're really slow, or they're really fast, or they're really noisy. Actually, no, not all dogs are created equal. Here at my house, we're a two-dog household, and so we have the brachycephalic, big word here, dogs. So it's the little smushed-faced dogs. So we have, I say little, we have a little 12-pound, 11-pound Shih Tzu, and then we have a 160-pound Mastiff, both with the really short faces. So it's harder for them to kind of breathe and keep their breath out under strenuous activities for long durations of time. It doesn't mean that you can't hike with those dogs. It just means it takes more work to get them up to sort of that stamina level. So know your dog, know what they can and can't handle, and ease them into the activities. Here in Texas, it's been crazy hot, and so one of the big things to keep in consideration, just like us, our dogs can get overheated just as easily as we can. They don't sweat like we do, which is the purpose of all their panting, to help kind of vent and get some heat out and some cooler in. So one of the things that you want to pay attention to with your pet is, are they getting overheated? Because like I said, they will get overheated just like we will. And so pay attention to like their eyes. Do their eyes look more sunken? Is the tongue hanging out? Is it bright red? Pay attention to the color of their gums. Look before the hike what their gums normally look like, and then look again as you're out and about on the trail, and their gums will change colors. I mean, they may go from a really pale to a really bright pink. Pay attention to the panting. Are they just clearly having a hard time? Is it labored breathing? But then, are they just wanting to lay down? If they're just constantly laying down, then they're tired. They get just like we do. They need breaks. Okay, so another heat-related consideration is actual ground temperature. Just because the outside air temperature is 85, 90 degrees or even hotter, it doesn't necessarily mean that the ground is actually the same temp. And I'm going to throw a chart up here just so you can kind of go through and look at it. Even the different types of ground, whether it's grass or it's cement or it's asphalt or mulch or whatever the surface is, it's a good idea to have a good clear picture of sort of what the temp is. And so right now we are sitting on about 97 degrees here at my house. Go from 132, 123 to 165. And just because the ground is hot doesn't mean that you can't take your pet out and take them out on the trail. There are a couple different solutions for that different people use. And the tougher that your pet's foot gets, the more durable they will be to these outside temperatures. But if you're house dogs like myself, where they're a little entirely too pampered, you may need some additional products to kind of get them squared away. So one of the things that you can use, some people really like the waxes that you put sort of on the base of their paws. Not something that's sort of petroleum based, that just softens them up, but some of the waxes and stuff will help. I've never used it. It has mixed reviews. Here at our house, we use the booties for the dogs. If we're going to have them out and about for very long and the pavement's going to be warm, or the trail's going to be hot, or whatever we're going to put them on, we usually stick them in booties and take them out, and they're usually comfortable with it. They look really funny when they first start learning to walk in them. It is something that most dogs have to get used to doing, is walking in boots, just because it feels weird on them. Think about if you've never worn shoes and you all of a sudden put shoes on your foot. It'd feel a little funky. So enjoy the laugh when they learn how to walk on them. As soon as they get comfortable with them. Another good thing that the booties are good for, though, are actually rocky trails. Been out several times with friends that are bringing their pets out, and all of a sudden, they get a splinter, or they get, they they cut open a paw or a pad on a sharp rock. So the booties actually help deter a lot of that as well. So not a bad investment. I wouldn't leave them on them constantly. The ground's comfortable. Take it off and let them walk sort of open-footed like they're accustomed to. The boots, if they're ill-fitting, they can cause some blisters and things like that on sort of on the sides, tops of the paws. So it's like anything, we wouldn't go out with a brand new pair of shoes that we're not accustomed to and jump on the trail and start walking with them. Ease your dog into them, but when you find a good fit and your dog gets comfortable with them, it can be a big benefit to keeping them out on the trail. Okay, so another consideration on the heat front is water. Don't need to necessarily just bring water for yourself, but you also need water for your pet. And since they can't drink out of your Camelback or your Smart water bottle, I would highly recommend something like this. It's just a little collapsible bowl. This is the one we use for our small dog. Actually, the big dog, we use the big Cedar Summit sink that rolls up. It's nice and easy for her, and it collapses down into nothing. This I can hang off of her vest. Okay, so you're out and about and something has happened to your pet. If they're overheated, lay them down, cool them off slowly, get them in the shade, that type of thing. Okay, so now my dog has gotten injured on the trail, so what am I going to do? If it's a tiny dog, I can probably carry that dog out. If it's a bigger dog, since it's my 160-pound Mastiff in here, I'm not going to deadlift my dog and carry it out a couple miles on the trail even. So show you a really quick improvised sling. This is just a long sleeve t-shirt. This will work with a towel, it'll work with a shema. You can probably make it work with enough bandanas. But I'm just going to stretch it out here where, this is just a long sleeve t-shirt by the way, looking from a hood. Alright, so I'm going to take the sleeves and then the tail of the shirt. And so I'm going to feed it, say, this is my dog's injured arm or leg. I guess they really have arms. I'm going to come underneath and then across. And rather than actually leash hold my dog, I can lend support to my pet and hold up from them from the back, taking the weight off of this limb, letting them use the other three, and really just sort of help carry the burden of the weight that would normally sit on this front shoulder. Huge help for the dogs. Take it slow, be controlled, don't rush things, and you guys can make it back out. Okay guys, hopefully that gave you some little nuggets to keep you and your furry family member out on the trail. If you guys are out there right now, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there soon.